In this episode, I'll show you how retiring in Mexico and using Bitcoin can make your early retirement dreams a reality. Stay tuned for the secrets to affordable living and the power of digital currency in securing your financial future. Let's get started. First things first, why Mexico? A vast country stretching below most of the United States. It's like driving from Texas to Seattle, just to give you an idea of the size. Now, when you hear about cartel violence, it's essential to know that many popular expat spots are quite a distance from those extreme situations. People, especially expats, retirees, and digital nomads, love Mexico not just for its diverse landscapes, but also because it's close to the US. Big cities in Mexico have direct, affordable flights to the States. Now, let's talk budget. Money talks, and for many expats, it's the primary reason they make the move. Take Oaxaca, for example, where the average annual wage hovers around $10,500. Some Mexicans live on even less, especially in indigenous and rural areas. To put it in perspective, the 2023 minimum wage set by the Mexican government is around $10.82 per day, a significant increase from $6.20 per day in 2020. But wait, why are Mexicans sometimes leaving their own country to move to the US? It's a question worth exploring. Social inequality in Mexico plays a role, and there's a significant amount of money flowing back to Mexico from those who work in the US. With a federal minimum wage of $7.25 per hour in the US, workers can send a substantial sum back home, impacting lives. Now, let's shift our focus to expats, a privileged group, especially retirees who've worked a lifetime in a more expensive and better paid economy. Retirees from the US use geo-arbitrage to stretch their money and social security checks in Mexico, where the US dollar goes a long way. In a world grappling with social injustices and rising housing costs, Mexico becomes a beacon for those seeking a more affordable and attainable life. But why Mexico over other Central American gems like Costa Rica or Panama? Each country has its own unique culture, food, and visa requirements. Mexico, though, offers Americans retiree visas easily, and you can always check my video on how to get temporary residency to unlock automatic 6-month stay upon arrival. For me, the major factor has been the average cost of living across Mexico, and I actually live in Monterrey, Mexico, and spend $2,500 a month, and that is the maximum since I live in the expensive side. Personally, many live comfortably in Mexico with a monthly cost well below $745 per month, and in places like Oaxaca, many have spent even less, well under $600 a month. The major expense? Housing. Even if you prefer Western-style living, it won't break the bank. On a modest budget, it's hard for a single person to spend more than $3,000 here, compared to $4,000 to $8,000 in the US. But I didn't make this video to only tell you about why I chose to stay in Mexico, but my experience with cryptocurrency, mainly Bitcoin, and how it has helped me to save. My thing with Bitcoin. Now let's talk about why I'm feeling positive about Bitcoin and the whole crypto scene. While it hasn't hit its peak like before, Bitcoin is still grabbing attention, especially with over $11 million addresses holding at least 0.01 BTC, a new record. My thing has been to stay bullish on Bitcoin, and here is why. Here's why I'm optimistic. Firstly, Bitcoin isn't just a digital coin. It's also seen as a valuable commodity in the digital marketplace. The game is changing, but there are challenges, especially with decentralized networks shaking things up. Now let's talk about Bitcoin as a currency. It's decentralized, meaning it's not controlled by any government or central bank. And in 2024, there's this thing called a halving event, which historically has given Bitcoin a boost. But here's the key. Bitcoin isn't just a currency, it's also a store of value. It doesn't play the printing game like regular money, and with the upcoming halving event, it's expected to increase in value. Beyond that, Bitcoin serves as a peer-to-peer transaction network. No middlemen, no central servers. Just people making transactions. It's like a direct line between users. Bitcoin is also eyeing traditional financial services, aiming to offer better services, lower costs, and increased security. It's not just for finance experts. Everyone from Wall Street to Main Street can get involved. The market is showing positive signs too. Bitcoin's price has been on the rise, especially after the halving event, suggesting big players are showing interest again. Then, El Salvador's bold move. Imagine a whole country embracing embracing Bitcoin as a legal tender. That's exactly what El Salvador did. This groundbreaking step not only legitimizes Bitcoin, but also opens the door for other nations to consider similar moves. It's a seismic shift in the financial landscape. Looking ahead, there's buzz about a potential Bitcoin ETF hitting the market in early 2024. If approved, this could be a game changer. An ETF, exchange-traded fund, makes it easier for institutional investors to get involved, potentially driving up demand and, in turn, the value of Bitcoin. Here's the lowdown. Investment made easy. Instead of going to a crypto exchange, buying Bitcoin, and dealing with all the tech stuff, a Bitcoin ETF simplifies things. It's like buying shares of a company on the stock market, easy and familiar. Tracks Bitcoin's price. The ETF's value is directly tied to the price of Bitcoin. When Bitcoin's price goes up, the ETF's value does too, and vice versa. It's like having a little piece of the Bitcoin action without actually owning the digital currency. Accessible to all. No need to be a crypto expert. You can buy and sell Bitcoin ETF shares just like you would with any regular stock. It's like bringing Bitcoin to your usual investment playground. Regulated safety. Unlike some crypto adventures, Bitcoin ETFs play by the rules. They're subject to financial regulations, adding a layer of safety and oversight. It's like having a security guard watching over your investment. But here's the caution part. Too much excitement around the Bitcoin ETF might make the price of Bitcoin go up really fast, like a balloon getting filled with air too quickly. And when that happens, it could lead to a few months of ups and downs, kind of like when the balloon bounces around before finding a steady place. Zooming in on the corporate scene, big players like MicroStrategy are not just dipping their toes, but diving headfirst into the Bitcoin pool. These companies are not merely buying Bitcoin, they're putting it on their balance sheets, signaling a growing acceptance of cryptocurrency as a legitimate asset. Now, let's talk about the one-year HODL wave. And no, HODL is not a typo. It stands for Hold On for Dear Life, and the one-year HODL wave reaching an all-time high is a significant indicator. It means more people are holding on to their Bitcoin for a longer period, reflecting a strong belief in its long-term value. In simple terms, the more hodlers, the more resilient and potentially lucrative the market becomes. But wait, there's more. Bitcoin, often hailed as digital gold, is increasingly seen as a hedge against potential inflation. When central banks, like the Federal Reserve, start printing more money, the value of traditional currencies can decrease. Bitcoin, with its capped supply, offers a finite alternative. It's like having a financial safety net in a world where the printing presses never seem to stop. Cautionary note. But here is a cautionary note. See, economy is a bit like a roller coaster. Sometimes it's going up, and sometimes it's going down. Right now, there's talk about a potential recession, which is basically a period where the economy is not doing so great. So it's good to hold cash on the side if we do get a big crash so you can buy the dip. If that happens, it could be a bit of a bumpy ride for Bitcoin in the short term. It's like when the roller coaster hits a dip, it might feel a little shaky, but it doesn't mean the whole ride is over. Some trusted platforms. Certainly, let's explore a few platforms where you can snag some Bitcoin in the United States, and then we'll talk about my personal go-to, Coinbase. First up, we have the crowd favorite, Coinbase. It's like the Bitcoin superstore where many start their crypto journey. Easy to use, widely trusted, and it's not just for Bitcoin. You can explore other cryptocurrencies too. It's like the Walmart of crypto, offering a bit of everything. Gemini. Another spot worth checking out is Gemini. It's like the sleek boutique for crypto enthusiasts. Gemini's known for its security measures and regulatory compliance. It's like the high-end store where you know your investments are getting the VIP treatment. Kraken. Now, if you want a bit more flexibility, there's Kraken. It's like the diverse marketplace where you can trade various cryptocurrencies. Think of it as the global market where you can explore beyond the usual suspects. As for me, I'm a Coinbase fan. It's like my trusted corner shop. The interface is clean, transactions are smooth, and it's got that reliability factor. Plus, they make it easy to tuck my Bitcoin away in cold storage. Think of it as putting my digital savings in a secure vault. It's like choosing the cozy, familiar spot where you know your investments are in good hands. Cold storage is like keeping your digital cash in a high-security vault. It's not connected to the internet, making it less vulnerable to cyber shenanigans. Think of it as putting your money in a safe at home rather than leaving it out on the kitchen table. So, you're not just buying Bitcoin, you're also being a smart Bitcoin owner. Coinbase for the shopping spree and cold storage for the safekeeping. That's a solid combo. So, as you take your unique journey to retirement, remember, knowledge is your buddy. Whether it's the beauty of Mexico, or the buzz of Bitcoin, your adventure is one of a kind. Cheers to a future full of financial freedom and retirement dreams coming true. Thanks for coming along on this ride. If you liked the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel and leave a thumbs up. Until next time, happy investing, and may your road to retirement be as awesome as you are.